Hi, and welcome to episode 34 of the Lowdown podcast. Today we're at Slam Dunk Festival. We're very excited. We're just parked up in the van, having a beer. Yeah, and we can't wait. This is a bit of a roundup episode. So, live on location today, but then we'll do a bit of a roundup special when we get home and we can digest it a bit, can't we?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. We've just parked up. We're in the camper today. I put my cap on backwards for the occasion.
Ready to go.
Yeah. So
we're trying out these new little nipple mics.
Nipple mics, yeah.
So hopefully it's sounding okay.
Yeah, hopefully. Clamp on your nips for excitement.
Is it on?
It's on, yeah.
Cool. So yeah.
Oh, I just cracked a beer.
Man, it's been a giddy journey on the way down.
Yeah, we set off about 7:30, didn't we? And we're now at the service station, not far from Slam Dunk itself. We were given car park passes, but we've decided to try and crash here for the night, haven't we? So
it's absolutely perfect.
Brilliant.
What a services as well.
Not to be all dad about it, but yeah, we might have a roundup one where we say we're fucking turfed out, but
we kicked out in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But it seems to be okay. There's like a few caravans and stuff around us. Yeah, it's bloody great.
Yeah.
It is windy though, isn't it?
It is windy. The journey here was absolutely glorious sunshine. Then it pissed it down for about 2 minutes every sort of 15.
Yeah.
And then bright sunshine again. But we've got here and I've not properly put the windscreen cover on the van yet, and it's flapping around like mad.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to take off. The wind sail.
So yeah, that might be interesting later on. So stick around to see if we blow away.
If we get kicked out.
If we get kicked out, yeah. No, I think we'd be right. And if not, there's a Ramada just there, so we'll...
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I know Siobhan and her husband Dave are staying there, so... Yeah, it's... what have we got? Should we grab the...
Let's get the flash grinder out.
Fucking hell, I'll drop right over the front. So, sorry for leaning in front of the camera there. Yeah, we've had a bit of a change of heart on the way here.
We have, literally on the way down.
I'm a big fan of the MEFs. We were opening the Monster Energy stage at 11:45.
You've seen them before, haven't you?
I've seen them before, and we've also...
Cooper.
Yeah, opening for Alice Cooper. They were really good. And they're also playing download. But on the playlist on the way here, we have absolutely fallen for Defects.
Jeez.
Fucking hell. I've heard a lot of people say they can't wait to see these, and I neglected to really give them a good listen. So
we nearly started a mosh pit on the motorway.
Oh, yeah. I was nearly fucking diving into Johnny in the front seat.
It was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, really, really good.
So what time are they on then?
They're
11:45?
Yeah, I've got my contact lens in today, so I can't read that well. Yeah, 11:45 till 20 past. We're then probably going to go and see Dream State. We're fans of Dream State, so very much looking forward to seeing Jesse and the crew. And we've got a little bit of a gap. I'm not sure what we're going to do there, maybe a bit of imminence. We might go and check out the VIP bit and see who's hanging around in press.
Yeah.
Because this is the first time ever that the Lowdown podcast has press accreditation. So
yeah,
that's going to be interesting.
So we look like we're on a school trip, won't we?
Yeah. We were looking at someone's TikTok from last year, and everyone's dressed to the nines. All these, fantastic looking people that have, put all our outfits together. And there's us in cargo shorts and fucking walking boots. So yeah, we're going to look like we've won a competition.
Yeah.
Who have we got then, Johnny? We're going to
go and see the Ataris, so I'm very excited for them. Listen to them on the way down. I think they'll just be kickstart the party there, won't it? 20-3 on the Monster Energy stage.
Yeah.
And then I think we'll probably go and see Stray from the Path.
Yeah.
At 5-4.
Something a bit heavy.
They're really good. And then into fucking Clash Central, isn't it? Zebrahead.
We cannot wait for Zebrahead.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the tent as well.
Yeah.
Didn't realise that. That's cool.
Yeah, if the tent is still there in this wind.
Yeah. And then we're just going to be trying to cram as much as we can into. We've got a little bit of Newfound Glory. And then probably into the used. I assume we'll see most of the used, to be honest.
Yeah.
Catch the first half of Less Than Jake. And
it's going to be tough, that. It's either do we catch the first half of Less Than Jake, or do we go and get a beer and get somewhere good for Electric Callboy?
And I mean, look, it's neck deep, Less Than Jake and Electric Callboy all at the same time. It's bad than that.
And then we're going to go and run and see the last bit of Alkaline Trio, because I am a big Alkaline Trio fan.
Mm-hmm. Then,
obviously, a day to remember, closing it out. And we might go and catch a little bit of the closing party with Millionaires. So
and then we'll watch us stumble home.
Yeah.
Back to the tent.
Back to the van.
Okay, now you can tell where I think I am.
We'll probably have a big sign on saying you can't fucking sleep here. And we're going to have to check into the Ramada, which is just behind us.
Sleeping in the reception area.
Well, that's it. We'll just go and sit and
be right, won't it?
Yeah. So a little bit of controversy yesterday in the old slam dunk world.
Yeah.
A lot of negative feedback going around to do with the security. So I hope that's not the case today. And I think a lot of you will have seen the TikToks and Instagram reels where the security at the front of was it the Key Club stage?
Yeah.
I think it was. Just dropping people.
Yeah.
Like literally just letting people come crowd surfing over the top and letting them drop on the face. And it's not good. It's not good at all. I saw Vicky Castle commented a lot, and I know Vicky's worked security for a long time in various venues and events.
Okay.
And she was saying it's not good at all, essentially. I'm paraphrasing there, but yeah, it's not good. And I hope they look after people properly, because...
Yeah, that's what they're there for, really.
Yeah, and it's not in the T's and C's for no crowd surfing like it is in a lot of places.
Yeah. I've just seen some fellow slam dunkers park up in a van and they're putting the mattress in the back. So
happy days.
I think we're all good.
Yeah.
So if it's one of us going, we're all going.
Yeah, split a hotel room with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, festival season is finally here, man.
I can't believe it.
No, I can't.
I felt sick all morning.
Yeah.
Like, anxious, excited.
Yeah.
I was up at 4:30, couldn't sleep. It's a big thing. It's a big thing for us, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is for so many of you that are listening, obviously, because you tune into a bloody festival podcast to listen to.
Yeah, every week,
I think I'm so glad I've got this before download, because it's going to scratch an itch. It's going to abate a lot of my nerves.
I think I'd have had a breakdown. No joke. How I've been feeling the past couple of days ready for this. If we hadn't have done this, it'd have been this tenfold for download.
Yeah, especially we're doing a live set there as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever that means.
Anxiety there already, so
yeah, it's gonna be fun. But yeah,
we're here. We made it.
We've got a cold beer.
Got a cold Carlsberg.
Yeah, Carlsberg. It's not a beer.
Yeah, my dad calls it cooking lager.
It does the trick. It's just like fizzy water, really.
It is.
There's some good beers going on in there, but
yeah,
I'm looking forward to spending £7.75 a pint. And
£9 for a decent one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Shite.
For the Beavertown ones and Camden Ales.
Yeah, I'll have one or two of them, but I'll just stick to either the Amstel or the Slam Dunk IPA.
Slam Dunk IPA looks all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still cheaper than arena prices. I mean,
so what's you expect it now? Don't
yeah, well, I mean, it's £5.50 down the ship, isn't it?
True. Down our local,
pub. So it's always been a couple of quid more than you'd usually spend in your pub at festivals. I remember feeling sick at Sonosphere when it was £4 a pint. So,
yeah.
God,
it's mega skint back then.
Yeah.
So our van's pulling up.
Vans are all here.
Van's here. But yeah, a few of our friends stayed over last night. I think they went for it as well, so they'll all be hungover today. I'm meeting a few friends today as well, so it's going to be a hell of a day, isn't it, mate?
It is. So cheers with it.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
We'll get a few videos through the day just to add to this podcast. So if you are listening, maybe check it out on YouTube as well. A little bit. We won't have any sort of band footage because we are not allowed specifically, but we will have footage of the band playing, just not of audio, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we are brand new to this, so we are going to stumble our way around, quite literally. So
yeah, we will do later.
So yeah, so have a little pause and we'll speak to you
catch up with our future selves.
That's it.
Next week, yeah.
We'll do. It'll be like a before and after.
Yeah, rocking.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody.
Nice one.
This is the Lowdown Podcast.
Good
right
afternoon,
then,
buddy.
Good afternoon. And just like that, we're back in Barrow.
A week later, it's the Sunday after the Sunday before, and I'm still feeling the after effect.
Man, I know. Don't want to be one of those like, we drank so much and we were so hungover. I was in bed for 2 days.
Oh,
no joke.
We were very excited that it was the start of festival season, and we behaved like it was the start of festival season.
Exactly how you would expect.
Yeah, so
we do that no matter where we go and what we do.
Yeah.
Always the first night we just go
mental. And with this being a one day at
Yeah.
Slam Dunk, it was always going to happen.
Yeah, we just didn't put any sort of restraint in, did we? So
No, and I'm glad we needed a good blowout.
yeah,
We said it in the last bit. It's a good job we did it then, because I think we'd have wrecked one of the days at Download if that was us on
Yeah.
Thursday.
yeah. We'll go through it in a bit, but we did not pace ourselves very well. So yeah, after we left last time, we headed out of the van, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
We stayed at Skelton Lake Services.
That was a really good find, that.
Yeah, it was.
perfect, wasn't it? We were
Yeah.
a bit nervous that we might get kicked out of there. We didn't know whether we were allowed to actually camp overnight, but they had like dedicated camping
Yeah, loads of people.
lanes. Loads of people were there staying
Brilliant,
over. But really nice. Had everything in there, didn't
Yeah.
it? Nando's and pizzeria and everything.
Yeah.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, you could have had showers and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the facilities going.
Yeah, I was really impressed actually.
Yeah, it took us about 20 minutes to walk from there.
Yeah.
We went to. So you just kind of walked alongside the road and then you duck under a tunnel, don't you?
Yeah,
And
like
back
a
up.
bypass. Yeah.
So yeah, we walked into Temple Newsham for the first time. First time I've ever been there because I never
Was
made
it?
it to Leeds.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
You said you've been before for that.
Yeah, I
80s.
went to the 80s Rock Festival, which is on a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
I would say when we walked in, but quite a nice easy walk as well. And it's all as soon as you hit the car park at Temple Newsham, wasn't it? It was like all just pedestrianised. You're like walking
Yeah.
through the woods almost.
Yeah.
It was perfect. And then we kind of, as you get closer, you start to see the tips of all the tents and
Yeah.
stuff, and you start to get a little bit giddy. We had
Yeah.
a can in hand as well, didn't we?
We did. There was a few people that hadn't made it past the security checks with.
Yeah, I remember that.
Did you see that? Them lasses having to get the little pouches of spirits out and neck them at the gate, so they're probably being worse state than we were.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we went through. We got VIP and the VIP guest lane thing, which wasn't the quickest, but
I'd say they were just as quick, if not slower, in guests. And I think it was just because there's quite a lot of families going through in guests, so they all had buggies and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
but yeah, all really nice staff as well. Were
Yeah.
really welcoming, really lovely.
yeah, very much so. First impressions of the site, very hilly,
It is, yeah,
which kind of worked in a lot of ways because it helped divide the site up a little bit.
yeah,
So yeah, we walked through, had a little bit of a wander around just to get our bearings. We met the lovely Jareth and Robin.
Oh yeah,
from
that was
To the
great.
Show.
Yeah,
Had a-
so lovely, weren't they all them and
Yeah.
their crew?
Yeah, all dressed in their We Got the Moves electric cowboy outfit.
It's a good job he said that's what he was wearing, because we wouldn't have clocked him
No.
at all.
No,
Yeah, really nice to meet you guys. It was really lovely catching up. I watched their vlog this morning as well, so
Yeah.
check that out.
Yeah,
really
same.
good summary and soak up all the good vibes there. It was brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we had a bit of a chat with them, got a picture, went through to the press area, didn't we? Which was very cool. I really liked that in there.
Yeah, really, really smart. Quite tucked out of the way as well, wasn't it? Between like one of the stages and the beer tent.
Yeah.
Again, all staff and security, really, really nice.
Yeah.
All dead welcoming. And yeah, we walked for the first time ever into the press
Yeah.
tent, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we were like little school kids. We were looking at each other with big grins on our faces, and we were thinking, "This is so cool."
Proper imposter syndrome on it.
It really was big time.
Yeah.
Felt like we said, we felt like we'd either won a competition or
Yeah.
So yeah, real big imposter syndrome walking in there. Gave our names, and that was us. We were flying.
Yeah.
Eventually later on.
Yeah. Yeah, so we grabbed a beer, didn't we? Got our press wristbands, and we headed back through to try and find people, which was an absolute nightmare at Slam Dunk, wasn't it?
Yeah, no phone signal at all.
No.
No internet, I should say. And then we said, well, why don't we revert to old school
Yeah.
and text or phone people? So and
Yeah.
that seemed to work okay. So tip for next time.
Yeah,
definitely
well,
is,
people. Ches was saying he hadn't even thought of texting
yeah, he
anyone.
said, I haven't texted anyone in about 5 years. I didn't even think that was it was an option. And he messaged us, didn't he?
Yeah, so we went and watched Grey Wind, didn't we? That was the first band we
that was
saw.
the first band we were on.
Yeah, Clash Finder up just to remind myself.
And
of
like
the
us, every time we go away, we obsess about the schedule beforehand, don't
Yeah.
we? The Clash Finder, and even on the way down, we were like, "Oh, should we go and see this band and see?"
Yeah,
And then when we got there, it all very much went out the window, didn't it?
yeah,
We had some obviously must sees that we really didn't want to miss, but other than that, it was just making our way around,
Yeah,
trying to catch up with friends at the same time as catch bands we want to see.
yeah, we had it all, like you say, plotted out, and then on the intro to this, we've kind of changed our mind, and then we didn't do that either. So,
No, we didn't. No.
so yeah, Grey Wind were in one of the tents, weren't they?
They were. It must have been the 4th tent, wasn't it?
The smallest one, the Key Club
Key
stage.
Club stage.
Yeah, yeah, enjoyed them.
Yeah,
Thought
they
they were
were
very good.
fantastic. Yeah, got a good crowd as well.
Yeah,
For so early on in the day and with so much going on as well.
yeah,
Some really good tunes there. Saw a couple of others from Barrow in there, and
yes.
yeah, I was
they
really
did.
impressed with them.
Then after that, we went and caught a little bit of. Do we see Sophie Powers first, then Grey Wind, or was it the other way around?
I think it was the other way around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Met with our friends Manda and Ches.
Yeah.
Was that Sophie Powers next then?
I think so, yeah.
So this is where the podcast will be quite interesting this week because we'll be filling in our memory
As we go,
as
yeah.
we go through because I don't have much of it towards the back end of the day. That's for sure.
Yeah, and some of these sets we caught like a few songs because we wanted to run around and do as much covering as we can. So.
yeah.
So yeah, then we went and watched Dream State. That was probably the longest first set we watched. And
Wow.
they were fantastic.
I was so impressed. I've never really listened to them before. Yeah.
Yeah, Jessie's got a cracking voice.
What a voice. Just an incredible front woman, isn't she?
Yeah,
Just
hell of a scream on her.
Yeah, do everything. Operatic to nice clean vocals to
Yeah.
absolute roaring scream. So one of my highlights of the day watching them for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, I agree. That was an excellent start to the main stage east. That was the first one because we actually missed Defects after bigging them up.
We did,
but
yeah.
we will definitely catch them in the future
Oh, for
because
sure.
we've definitely fallen in love with them a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we went back to Guest, got another pint, and then we had a bit of a gap then, didn't we? And we went to watch the Ataris. They were on in the Monster stage.
Yeah.
They drew a hell of a crowd.
Huge. We were right at the back.
Yeah.
Literally couldn't go any further back and it was rammed. The only thing I would say about that stage was the sound. I mean, I know we were at the back, but you'd still expect it to be pretty loud.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I
you
would
could
say.
just have quite a comfortable chat.
Yeah, easily, yeah. You weren't shouting over each other and stuff.
No.
Yeah, I enjoyed them. I've been listening to them a lot before we went, so it was nice to hear some of those songs.
Yeah, another band probably. We said this about Alien Ant Farm at Download. They're probably held back a bit by the cover that they
Yeah,
did.
absolutely.
Because they've got some great
some
songs
big
of their own.
hits in there. I mean,
Yeah.
they did play that, and the crowd went crazy.
And then left.
Boys of Summer, or whatever it is. And then, yeah, they all left. But,
Yeah.
yeah, they did pull in a big crowd.
They did.
But yeah, like these stages were almost. It was like a crown in the middle of the field where it was like like a hill. Then all the stages were almost in opposite corners. Worked really well.
It did for the most part, but I think we'll probably cover this a little bit later. But sometimes I thought they were a bit close.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we went to meet up with Gemma, Bamber,
Yeah, and Dexter,
and everyone else.
our download family.
Yeah,
Um,
and we watched Stray from the Path.
Yeah.
Who were absolutely excellent.
Incredible.
But
Really energetic. So,
yeah, oh yeah, really angry, bloody.
Yeah, Dexter was on Bamber's shoulders for most of it, which
Yeah.
was great to see. Having a blast. But yeah, obviously come home to some strange news from Stray from the Path.
Yeah, they're splitting up next year. Is that
Yeah.
right? Is it next
Yeah.
year?
Yeah, I think they're going to do they've released their final album this week.
So
They're going to do a bit of a summer tour.
Yeah.
And then that's them done.
Yeah, so they want to finish on a high, and that's that.
Whether or not it's true or it was just a bit tongue-in-cheek, but the drummer said that he was going to be the new drummer for Foo Fighters. I mean, and I wouldn't be disappointed at that either because he's a hell of a drummer. He's got quite a big social media presence and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if he was joking or not. I have to fill me in on that. But I really enjoyed them. For anyone who likes that type of very Fever 333,
Yeah.
angsty,
Yeah.
energetic rock, isn't it?
Yeah, they're from Brooklyn, aren't they?
Oh, they.
Yeah, very angry American sort of angsty. I know you're always going to draw comparisons to Rage Against the Machine with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's misplaced.
Yeah.
And then we went one of the bands we've been looking forward to most, and the band we managed to meet backstage was Zebrahead.
Yeah, brilliant.
So that was we're sat in guest. We're on one of the picnic benches, weren't we? And Zebrahead were like, "Oh, is this bench free?" And then they started having a photo shoot on the bench next to us,
Yeah.
didn't they?
So they were the worst photo bombers in the world. We
Yeah.
were just sat there with a pint and they're doing all dead cool poses and stuff. There's me and you looking well out of place.
Yeah. So we had a bit of a chat with Ali and Dan from Zebrahead.
How lovely were
They
they?
were great guys, weren't they? Dan was so deadpan.
Yeah.
And Ali was just so friendly. Band I've been a fan of for
Yeah.
well over 20 years now. So yeah, they were really, really nice.
Like you say, we had proper imposter syndrome in there. And sometimes when you're meeting people for the first time, especially famous bands, you just
Yeah.
don't know how they're going to react.
No.
I wish every person I met was like those two guys because
Yeah.
they were just so like shook your hand and give you a hug. Oh, thanks guys! Oh, we're excited.
Yeah.
Saying that they had a bar on stage and
Yeah.
throw us a beer if they can see us and stuff. Just really nice, genuine, authentic chat, which I think is important, isn't it? Wasn't forced. It wasn't.
No, it was nice. So yeah, we went to watch them. I think they had mixed reviews on the show.
Oh
vlog.
yeah, I'd heard that actually.
But I think the main problem was the sound. The sound was shit.
We were really excited for Zebrahead. Again, stood right at the back. I think it was just because it was easiest to get in that way, wasn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
it was so rammed. And we were like, we're going to have to get in for this because
You just
it's
couldn't
just not
hear.
loud enough.
It sounded like the audio was coming. The sound was just coming through the monitors on stage at one point.
Yeah.
I think it was only about when they started doing that drinking song that it picked up slightly.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, it was still a fun set. They had the crowd surfers
Yeah,
in the
it was
boats and
great.
stuff, and a good laugh. But yeah, it was a shame that I think it could have been a lot better.
I loved it. We were singing along. Again, managed to meet up with our friends Manda and Ches, singing that to all my friends and all. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
It was just a proper party. And I think it must have been at that point where I thought, oh, I'm getting a little bit pissed here.
Yeah.
Probably before then, actually. But at that point when we stumbled out of that tent.
I think it was just after then because we went to the beer tent after that. So they have like if people haven't been, I think it's the same tent they have at Kendall Calling.
Oh, is it?
Oh, very, very
Yeah,
similar
okay.
with a big long bar in it and some benches to sit down in. And Johnny goes, "Oh, I'm going to get one of them tropic. What were they called?"
It's the Tiny Rebel beers. It's called Club Tropical or
Yeah.
Tropicana or something.
I said, I don't know, mate. I said, I'm starting to feel it a bit. I'll just get an Amstel. Oh, I might even get a Monster. And Johnny told me to fuck off. And then we went to, so I ended up with a strong beer and a cocktail.
Yeah. I mean, those Mango Loco
Oh, they were
Monster.
beautiful, one.
Monster, which I like anyways. And then it had a double shot of rum in there. Oh, it was stunning.
It was so nice.
But fuck, I think that's why I've been feeling so rough
All week.
all week. I'm surprised we could sleep. We had a good few of them throughout
The
the
amount
night.
of Monster we'd had, yeah. And we went back to the backstage area, to the press area. And then they had like an extra bit at the back, which was artists. So we just went up to the security guard and were like, "Can we go through there?" He's like, "Yeah, you're press, you can go when you want." We're like, so we wandered through and there's all the bands having their hair cut
Yeah,
and getting massages and that.
yeah.
And we went through, a day to remember were in there, weren't they?
Yeah.
Having a roast dinner. So we went up and you went up and got a roast dinner.
So I walked in and said, "Can I get some food?" I'm like, "Yeah, give us a full roast."
I went up and they said, "No, it's a tenner."
Yeah.
So between us, I mean, a five
Yeah,
each.
5
for,
each. Hey, can't complain with that.
No, not at all.
But they really looked after the bands. It looked amazing.
Oh, it
back
looked
there.
really cool.
For us as die-hard festival goers and lovers of this type of music,
Yeah.
it was a proper pinch me, peek behind the curtain,
Yeah.
wasn't it? It was like, so this is what happens. They're chilled. Everyone's just sat around having the food, having a laugh.
Yeah.
Huge catering tent.
Flowers on the
Flowers on the
and everything.
table and proper. Yeah, it was
We nipped back through then and we had a sit back in the press bit and one of the trees over the top had like been dropping
Yeah, the
leaves,
leaves
onto it. So we just had a table covered in it. And it was it No Offence's it was like his bodyguard
Yeah,
or
I
something
think
came over and goes, "Is that weed?" Like we just spread weed all over the table.
full table.
Welcome to the party.
Come and have a sit down, guys.
So yeah, then we went back
that was
through.
good fun. We did.
We were getting very giddy at this point. Well, we were until we saw the next band, which was The Used.
Yeah, I'll have to admit my memory was going at this point. I thought we watched the whole set. I don't think we did.
We watched a good half of it.
Yeah.
And again, Robin and Jareth, your thoughts were pretty similar to mine. I thought it was pretty shit, to be
I thought it
honest.
was a bit naff.
I was very much looking forward to The Used when I saw them on the poster, until I saw that they were doing the full
full
album
album.
in full. So yeah, they had the hits in there, but then it just tailed off because no album, well, very very few albums finish on the strongest songs.
Yeah, or are back to back enough to be able to play them in full.
So I just kind of went out with a win.
I was a bit miffed, I'll be honest, because I missed the Used that download last year. Was it last year, the year before? When Billy Talent ran as well. So I was very excited. Wasn't blown away.
Yeah.
Although I did see the guy from the Sapling pod.
Oh yeah, Sean Smith.
He got up and did a track with him.
He
Not
did
the biggest track.
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that bit. I
He
saw him
did.
do it. Did we see him do that?
This is
This is what will be interesting.
look at the amnesia.
What's
podcast.
the huge song off that album?
Box Full of Sharp
Yeah,
Objects,
he
was
did.
it that?
He did it with them.
Right,
He did
okay, maybe I'm mixing things up.
I don't think we saw that, but I saw a couple of clips on YouTube and it looked amazing. He was bodding around in guest and press as well, doing their podcast, which was cool to see.
Yeah, we saw him quite a few times in the background, didn't we? And then who did we go and see? I'm just looking at the set list. Yeah, Box Full of Sharp Objects with Sean Smith.
Yeah. So so now it gets really fuzzy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, The Used was a bit miffed.
I didn't even
Where
do
did we-
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
I don't know. I wonder what you're thinking there.
Yeah. I think they have covered that quite recently. Maybe
Right.
they're mixing up clips. But we went to... Was that when we went to see... Oh, I went to see Less Than Jake.
Ah, yeah.
Who were very good.
Yeah.
Enjoyed them.
I think we'd sobered up a little bit more by then.
Yeah.
We bumped into some people from Barrow.
Oh, we
which was
did.
nice.
Yeah.
Dave and Vicky and their little boy who was there.
We did.
They were having a blast.
Yeah, and we bumped into Hannah
Hannah and Jan.
and Jan. Yeah, we did. And then we went for... Oh, we went to watch a bit of Neck Deep.
Yeah, that was it. Les and Jake were great, by the way.
Yeah,
they were fantastic.
So we were just running... Like we said on the preview,
Yeah.
we were just running around like madmen trying to catch a bit of everyone, really. Neck Deep sounded good. I'm not the biggest Neck Deep fan. I like some of the big songs. He was backstage. He was hanging around loads of guests, wasn't he?
Yeah, he looked like he was having really nice chats with everybody.
Yeah.
Just a all-round nice guy.
Yeah, he does.
But the stage show for Neck Deep looked like a proper headliner stage show. Like the guitarists and that were on podiums next to the drummer and the big backdrop and everything. And they had a really good following, a big crowd.
Yeah, they did.
So yeah, I'm glad we
Loads of crowd surfers and everything.
Yeah, glad we caught them for a couple of tracks.
And then we went to find our position for Electric Callboy, didn't we? But we started off on the right, and that was shit because the Kerrang stage just bleeds in.
That was the worst. They were very close together, weren't they?
Yeah.
I think you said earlier on one of the videos we did, probably one more stage than what's actually needed. It was
I
very
think so.
crammed.
I don't even think you need two main stages.
Yeah. But yeah, when you were stood on the right-hand side of that stage, because the Kerrang stage was an open-air one as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Right next to it, it was quite difficult to segregate.
Yeah, so we ended up heading back down to pretty much where we'd been for Dream State, just in front of the left-hand screen. And Electric Callboy, I'll say it now, I think is one of the most fun sets I've ever seen at a festival.
Man, makes me really smile thinking about it. I've been excited for these for a long time. We've missed them twice at Download. I've been listening to them non-stop for
just once, isn't it? Because they pulled out the second time.
Yeah, exactly.
But the first
time
they're in the tent clashing with Ghost, which was shit. But
and it's my little boy. He really likes Ratata and stuff, so it was quite a big thing watching them. You're right though, fucking hell.
Oh, it was just so
What
much fun.
a set. I really, really hope. Well, I don't know where you bring them back at Download, but it's got to be a headliner, hasn't it?
Second
stage at least.
Second stage headliner set. It's just
Yeah.
that'd make so much sense. for
Yeah,
next
it
year.
really would. They did quite a good few covers.
Yeah.
So they did Linkin Park. Oh, Here Comes the Rain. Oh, bloody hell. They didn't cover that song.
It counts.
Yeah, they did Linkin Park. They did Every Time We Touch. They did a hell of a cover of Still Waiting.
They
The
did.
Sum 41
Yeah, for
because
Frank Summer.
Frank is now the new drummer. That went down extremely well. Got some daft videos of us singing along.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
I think, did they do any other covers? I can't remember, but they were.
They did Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys, yeah. Around like a fire pit and stuff doing
Yeah.
Linkin Park. It was very cool. Well, I'm going to have to
It's easier.
AI on this one to get rid of the noise.
Yeah. So-
Yeah, Electric Cowboy, my absolute favourite of the day, I think.
Yeah, it was nothing was gonna top that. We caught a load of confetti and stuff.
Yeah,
just
in our pockets.
to
And
take
that.
back for our battle jackets.
Yeah.
And we went to. Just realised we've got a lot of washing up.
I know.
Brilliant. Then we ran over and caught Alkaline Trio.
Yeah.
We caught the back half of them, and I thought they were fantastic as well.
Yeah. It's one of those, you're in that like drunken state in a tent and all the lights are flashing, and it was proper one of those. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Excited to get my memory back a little bit then.
Yeah.
After Electric Cowboy. That's the thing, you're pounding beers and we were having pints of Amstel and we had a couple of those ales.
Yeah.
And then we were getting a pint of Amstel and a double rum and Monster and drinking them at the same time. And it's like, what the hell
What
did
did we
do?
expect
What-
was gonna
And then
happen?
you're jumping around like a lunatic.
Yeah.
We were on about it the other week, weren't we, when I was younger and I couldn't afford loads of beer.
Yeah.
Neck 4 cans as quick as you can and like run up and down the garden, up and down your stairs. That was like us. No wonder we were smashed. But yeah, Alkaline Trio were really good fun, weren't they? It was rammed in that tent as well for them.
It was. Yeah.
Um,
There's a few complaints actually about some people in the crowd swinging fists and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolute
It's a
twats.
bit strange, isn't it?
Yeah, you're not that fucking hardcore show. But yeah, I thought they were good, very good indeed. And we then fortunately went and caught the end of Hot Milk,
Yeah.
who were excellent.
I'm
Absolutely
really
excellent.
glad we did. I'm
Well,
really glad we
we
did.
bumped into Hannah from Hot Milk earlier in the day. She gave us a big hug, didn't she?
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, you're coming later," and we kind of lied a little. I said, "Yeah, won't miss it for the world." It was a massive lie that. But we did catch the
But we
last
did.
3 or 4 songs.
Yeah, which
So-
I'm very glad we did.
They were really good, and
phenomenal.
they got really, really shit on that with that slot.
Considering the clashes, there was they pulled a good crowd.
Yeah, they did,
Um,
and they sounded excellent. So, like,
We've got some great videos of the last couple of songs.
Yeah.
The sound quality as well.
yeah,
Very, very good.
yeah. So that was one of my highlights of the day, even though it was
Yeah,
only a
it
short
was.
set. And we'll have to be honest here, we did not watch a day to remember
I know.
because
bad, innit?
we thought let's go back and have a beer and see what's going on in Guest. And we met Nico from Electric Cowboy. So we went through and he was at the bar and we offered to buy him a drink, didn't we?
Yeah.
And instead he gave us 2
Yeah.
beer
Some
tokens,
back.
which we didn't use for some reason.
Yeah. I don't know. Not like we needed them.
No, definitely not. Then we kind of wandered around getting a few pictures and
Yeah.
just doing soaking it all in, I think.
It was a
isn't it?
blast.
And we went to the artist bar for a bit. I nearly lost my camera.
You did.
Sat on the sofa in the guest bit, and I was just like, well, I'll just have a quick. And I was like, where is it? Where is it?
Oh, it's awful. Isn't
And
it?
I went back and at last just had it held up. I think she'd taken some videos as well.
Yeah. The people working behind the bar. But yeah, I'm a bit miffed we missed the day to remember. It was just, by that point, it was a pretty full-on day. I think we caught them as we were walking around the back of the festival.
yeah.
From the footage I've seen, it looked amazing. We've seen them a good few times before.
We have, yeah.
And no doubt we'll see them again in the future.
Yeah, that's the only reason they lost out, really, because I've seen them a lot at Download.
Yeah.
And, I mean, after Electric Cowboy, Alkaline Trio and Hot Milk, we'd have only had about 20 minutes left
Yeah,
of them
if
anyway.
If that, yeah. So I'm glad we picked Hot Milk, mate, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Again, really enjoyed that. But yeah, stumbling around then round Guest, and it does sound a bit wanky, doesn't it? Oh, we were in Guest and press.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, but I mean,
I
this is
don't-
the first time we've ever done it. and had the opportunity to do it. I can't imagine it would be like that every time even if we're fortunate enough to get invited back or
We never thought
or
it'd
do
happen
something.
once, did we?
No,
So-
exactly. So it was a real.
We were like
pinch
kids
me.
that had won a trip, weren't we?
we
That
were.
was, we definitely didn't feel like we deserved to be there in any
No,
way, shape, or
absolutely
form.
not.
So we just kind of made the most of it.
Yeah, yeah.
People were absolutely lovely in there. The guest area itself was excellent. I think Download has something.
I was just going to say something controversial there, which is I do think the guest area really
I think it
outshone
was-
Download.
I quite agree.
It felt special being in there, and obviously you could buy the tickets to go in there if you wanted to. I think it would have been worth every penny.
Yeah, £66.
Wasn't heaving.
No,
Queues at the bar weren't anything.
no. Couple of
Loads
food
of loads of
vendors.
cool TPs and places to sit. A DJ on.
More cover.
More cover than yeah.
And it
you're
did
right.
piss it down a
It
couple of
did.
times during the day, didn't it? And we were that was when we were sat on the yellow settee.
Yeah, big sofas in there. So
Yeah.
I think I know maybe a bit controversial, but it's got to be honest, hasn't it? I do think it.
Yeah, I mean, Download is redesigning its guest area apparently this year. So
We'll see what they come up with this year. But I was really impressed with it, mate. So I think it'd be worth it.
yeah, I had a rodeo bull.
Oh yeah, you
I had
had
a
a
go.
shot on the
Yeah.
on the bull. I knew if I went off on it and fell off, I'd break a bone or something. I'm so clumsy. So I just left you to it.
The guy before was like, I did 25 seconds, and
Yeah.
I was like, I did 55. in the end.
Yeah. I think you got the highest all day. I think Modell said. didn't he?
Well, yeah, he said no one's beaten that, but
And next to the rodeo bull, there was a tattoo
yeah,
walking. I don't know when we went in there. I think it was pretty earlier on, but we popped our head in to have a look, and we're like, "Oh, I'd get a tattoo if you get one." Yeah,
Yeah.
let's get a
Oh,
tattoo.
we were well.
If
ready.
they'd have had a slot there and then, we'd have absolutely
Yeah.
gone for it. It was packed though.
It was, and the only time they had was 7:30.
Yeah,
so I
it
think
was.
we'd have ended up missing a bit of someone we wanted
Someone
to see.
wanted to see.
So yeah, unfortunately, we have not got slam dunk tattoos this year. It would be.
How funny is that? We've gone to downloads since 2013.
Yeah, we'd
been
have
a
missed
slam
that.
dunk once, and we get
Yeah.
a slam dunk tattoo.
But there are the tattoos are in Park Farm this year as well.
Yeah, I mean, I am going to have a look.
Mm.
I really am, especially with us performing this year. It'd be quite
Yeah,
a nice bit of memorabilia on your body forever.
yeah.
But yeah, so then going back to slam dunk. That was us for the night, wasn't it?
Pretty much went and sat in Artist Bar for a bit. The barmaid gave us a shot of something for some
I
reason.
can't remember what
I
it
don't know
was.
what it was. We went and said our thank yous to everyone. We were feeling very polite.
Yeah, and thanks very much to Alex from
Gala
Press Team
PR,
from Gala PR. Really, really nice lot, weren't they?
Yeah, we
so
chatted all
welcoming,
day.
so chilled. Yeah, and we said thank you and did our bit.
So they said, we were like, right, how do we get out? I said, we don't want to go out through the artist bit where all the tour buses go. I said, can we go back across the arena? And he's like, yeah, off you go, lads. So we went through and it was just empty.
Nobody there.
There was a few people litter picking. All the food vendors were turning the lights off. And
Yeah.
there was like a few cranes driving around. And we were like, where do
the
we
fuck
go?
are we at?
So we still had our drinks because usually at download, they're like, finish your drink.
Yeah.
You get a load of...
Was
like
security-
you at sleep talking.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
nearly rugby tackled you because you had a
Yeah,
pint
like,
with you.
oh, jeez, remember that?
You and Rob Wheeler got absolutely bollocked.
Yeah, he dragged me back in by the scruff of my neck.
Finish it in here.
Finish it now. But yeah, they weren't like that at all at Slam Dunk. They
No.
were very polite and come on, guys, finish up.
So every now and again we were like, right, we think this is an exit, and we sort of wandered through. We did obviously a little real video because we were smashed and didn't know where the hell we were. And every now and again a guy in a yellow jacket sort of turned up and sort of marshalled us to our summit. That wasn't an exit. So it took us about 45 minutes getting out.
Well, I looked on the thing. So I think, bearing in mind the festival finished at 11, it was 12:15 by the time we found our way to the exit. And even then, there was stewards on there. Hey guys, have you had a good day?
Yeah.
Oh, really, really lovely. But yeah, we were pretty gone by then. If you check out that reel on TikTok that people seem to like to watch, I can't even put my words together hardly.
And then you drop your camera.
And then I dropped my camera on the floor.
So
But yeah, what a blast.
yeah, and then we walked back, got a McDonald's.
I've got a really funny video actually, which I haven't sent you. You might have seen it, I'm not sure. But I'm panning round the festival because there's nobody there. And then I pan to you and you go, I can't wait. I'm going to get back to the van. I'm going to have a few more beers out the van. It's like, God, like that's what we need.
Well, we said we were going to go for a sit down Nando's.
Yeah, we did.
So we were like, let's go on. We'll get a few beers in, go to Nando's. We ended up, Nando's was shut, obviously.
Of course it was. It was
nearly
1 in the
morning. So we got a double quarter pounder of cheese, went back, opened a can of beer.
Yeah.
And then woke up in the morning, we'd had about one sip of it.
Yeah,
And slept like a baby.
really did.
Then, yeah, the next morning was quite tough.
It was. That was a really tough journey home. That
Yeah.
you did very well doing the driving back, mate.
Yeah.
I felt sick all the way home. And then, I went to bed as soon as I got in.
Yeah, I've just been knackered all week. But then I was a bit knackered before I went, so I think I'm just a bit run down.
The amount of excitement we had all day.
Yeah.
Really makes me smile thinking about it. A really memorable day, mate.
Well, you forget how much that excitement and giddiness pulls you through because, like I say, I've been a little bit under the weather for a couple of weeks. And that as soon as we got towards the site, I was absolutely buzzing. I just could not wait to get going. And even now, I've been a bit tired today. I've just got back from a little holiday break with the kids. I was thinking, oh Christ, I don't know if I can do the podcast, and I'm shattered. As soon as you start talking about it again, I'm like ready to go.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
We do this when we come back from download. It's like, fuck, how do we manage to do that? 5 days, full on. And then it gets to like 4 days after the festival, and then you're watching the vlogs and you're catching up, and you're going, I can fucking do it on Monday if someone asks me to.
I honest to God, like we've been a long time fans and viewers of TPD over the years, and people who listen to this, I'm sure, know who they are. I do not know for the life of me how those guys and girls do that. They are absolute machines. I've got, well, respect's an odd word, but it's definitely respect.
Absolutely.
They are the absolute gold tier of festival vlogging.
Yeah, they're very good, aren't they?
One of the absolute best. But again, thank you, Robin and Jareth, for shouting us out again. Thanks for Dylan for following and liking all our stuff. We really appreciate it.
There's some really good follow-up vlogs.
There is that.
We'll upload this with a video and bit of footage and stuff, but we're definitely not vloggers because again we'd be shit at it. Judging by the 2 reels that we did.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have made any sense, would it? But Stu, SMTV's put some up, and Dylan's put some up, and obviously to the show. So check those guys out because it's a really good way of capturing the festival and what it feels like. So what do you think then, mate? Overall, what are your thoughts?
Good, bad, and the ugly. The sound bleed issues were a major pain in the ass.
Yeah.
To the point where you could almost hear every stage at the same time.
It's pretty crammed, isn't it?
Yeah. The site itself I thought was cool. I thought the hills really helped, like I said, divide it out.
Yeah.
The bar queues seemed fine.
Brilliant.
Absolutely fine. Toilets, absolutely fine.
We're a bit sceptical after, I don't know, I think last year was much better, but the year before was supposed to be horrendous with food queues and toilets. And obviously the team at Slam Dunk have taken that feedback and then smashed it out of the park. It's rare you queued up for longer than 10 minutes for a beer, wasn't it, really?
Yeah. One more negative is the clashes. The clashes are borderline insanity.
It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
I'd say. And it's not like the bands are diverse enough to go, oh, do you know what, this type of crowd will probably go here when this band are on.
Yeah, it's not quite as eclectic.
No, as Download where you can kind of justify some of those big clashes.
Yeah, like Cradle of Filth fans and
exactly.
Fans. There's not the biggest crossover. Hot Milk and A Day to Remember, probably you'd have a few people going, oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there was some excellent sets lower down that they'll be jumping up leaps and bounds. I thought Straight from the Path was going to be one of them, but obviously not.
Yeah.
Hot Milk, I can only see them ever going one way. They're absolutely rocketing up in my estimations.
The energy is amazing.
I think Zebrahead need to sort the sound out, and I don't know. It's a little bit of the set was pretty much exactly the same as Download. It had the same jokes, the same.
Oh, was it?
Which is a bit of a shame because I think Zebrahead have got quite a deep back catalogue.
Yeah.
That they could mix it up a little bit more. That said, lovely guys as well. Like we say, we saw Dan, Ali, we saw Adrian walking around, didn't we? And we bumped into Lily from the Meths, didn't we? We were chatting to. She was absolutely lovely.
Yeah, really,
I was saying
really nice.
how much I'd enjoyed her show supporting Alice Cooper, and she said, "Oh, thanks so much, mate." And then some leathered woman came over, didn't she?
Yeah.
And went, "Oh, I recognise you from somewhere," and was really like obnoxious.
Yeah.
And Lily said, "I've just got to get back to my friends," and then came back to talk to us. And she like saved me,
Help me out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was saying how much of a honour it was supporting Alice Cooper.
Yeah, she was really nice. And yeah, looking forward to seeing them at Download. I think they'll be. They're an excellent live act, really entertaining. They were on very early, but they don't have the crowd up.
Yeah,
excellent.
When we went trying to take a bit of a spin of we've never been to Slam Dunk before. We've obviously been at Download a hell of a lot, hence the pod.
Yeah,
but we said it in one of the reels as well. It is a perfect start to festival season.
Absolutely,
a 1 day all out party. I'd say very well organised, incredible staff.
Yeah,
everybody was amazing. Security, I never saw any issues.
No,
at North and stuff. So yeah, I was buzzing. I'd love to go next year.
Yeah.
The lineup seems to be getting better and better, which is amazing.
And it's the 20-year anniversary.
20 it is, yeah. So a lot of people wondering who is going to be next year.
I mean, the original one was Fall Out Boy, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, they'll be a very big headliner for it now. But the only issue is I'm on holiday next time.
You are next year.
But they didn't put the date on the thing, so maybe they might move the date around.
Yeah.
To accommodate a bigger
for bands. Yeah, possibly.
So who knows?
But yeah, God, if you just love festivals and be around your friends and incredible alternative music, it is just the perfect place to be for a day.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so glad
really
to have finally gone.
Yeah, me too, mate.
It exceeded my expectations. It was incredible fun.
One of those where when we're older, when we're in our old people's home and we're sat there and we're going, do you remember that time we sat and had roast dinner with a day to remember?
Ridiculous.
Nice to share it with you, buddy. It was a fucking great experience. Cheers, my mate.
Yeah, and when's this going to go out? Tuesday?
Yeah, it'll be Tuesday, I think.
And then Thursday for so we're recording twice tonight. We are going to head back to our Download focus very shortly. My sister Kate and our sister in heavy metal, Rosie, is they're both coming to chat with us about all things RIP, all things food related, because Kate is a big time foodie, and also just about that excitement we've got, because when that comes out it'll be Thursday and it'll literally be a week to the day from when we arrive on site, when we perform on site, and all things in between. So we are, it's getting very close. I'm shitting them a little bit.
Yeah,
I need a quiet weekend, sit down in a dark room and get over Slam Dunk first.
Me too. What a blast there.
That's been great. Thank you very much,
Incredible.
everyone, for listening, giving us these
again.
opportunities that we somehow have managed to get this year.
Yeah.
It's been a hell of a ride. So thanks again for listening.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Ben Pritchard. Pritch, happy 40th birthday, mate.
Yeah, happy birthday, mate.
Oh, we had a great party and we hope to run into you at Download and say happy birthday to you in person. So all the best, buddy. All right. Catch you next time.
Cheers.
This is the Lowdown Podcast.